Welcome to the Scene Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Scene Podcast. I'm your humble host, Justin Borak. I hope you're all having a wonderful Monday. I know I am. I'm joined by my producer, editor extraordinaire, KJ. KJ, how you doing?
What's going on, Justin? Just finished my breakfast and excited to kick off this week by talking about theater, as always.
That is amazing. I'm so glad. I'm so excited for the episode today, and I hope you guys have a wonderful time listening while you're commuting to work, you're doing whatever you're doing, or you're just sitting on your couch wanting to learn a little bit about theater, because boy, oh boy, do I have some things to talk about on this episode. Let's get right to it.
Shows you should know.
All right, it's time for Shows You Should Know, the segment where I get to do my favorite thing in the world. Tell you all about plays and musicals you might not have heard of but need to consume ASAP. Let's get right into it. These are 3 shows that I love very, very much. The first one I want to talk about is Isaac's Eye by Lucas Neath. Lucas Neath is one of my favorite playwrights. Hillary Ann Clinton, an unproduced screenplay about the death of Walt Disney. So many wonderful ones. This is one, so let me tell you a little bit about it. To understand light and optics better, young Isaac Newton inserted a long needle between my eye and the bone, as near to the backside of my eye as I could. Oh my gosh, I'm like skittish just saying it. Why take such a risk? Lucas Neath reimagines the contentious, plague-ravaged world Newton inhabited in Isaac's Eye, exploring the dreams and longings that drove the rural farm boy to become one of the greatest thinkers in modern science. 4-person play, really simple set. Here's the thing. Lucas Neath, I think, is some of the best writing in like this false realism style around. Obviously, well, actually, not obviously. Fun fact of the day, Lucas Neath is a huge magic nerd. He has done like panels on it. He's worked with a bunch of really cool magicians on his plays. So I like to look at what he does as kind of false realism. It could be as realistic as possible, but at any moment you're reading it, it could take a turn to absurdism. It could take a turn to fantasy. It could take a turn to spectacle. And this play does just that. I also think it is so hard to do a good like biopic play. I'm very stingy on like the like biopic movies that I like to watch, and it's the same with my plays. Like seeing those kind of shows, it's hard to, I don't know, to like process and really enjoy them sometimes. And Lucas Neath does a great job with balancing the entertainment and educational factor within Isaac's Eye. It's really, really great. A wonderful, historical, realistic play about an important person in scientific history that doesn't just teach, but it humanizes this like prolific character in our lives, right? Isaac's Eye, Lucas Neath, great play. We're going to take a little turn here. This is a play called Scared Silly. It's on Play Scripts. So this is the description on their thing. Okay, ready? We challenged 10 playwrights to bring us their funniest takes on the fearsome in this collection of 10-minute plays. Designed to be flexible for your evil plans, these plays can be performed in any combination. Every spooky tale in this collection has a twist, whether it's what detention looks like in a school for the supernatural. That one's The Midnight Club. What happens when a slasher movie junkie tries to track down a killer. That's called It's You. The incredible secret of the trick-or-treater dressed normally who wants candy anyway. The true meaning of Halloween. Or the only thing that scares a ghost. That one's called In the Waiting Room at the Ghost Placement Agency. Don Zolitis, Ed Monk, Ian McWethy, Hilary DePiano, Patrick Green, so many awesome, cool like playwrights that are working with play scripts worked on this project. It's a perfect show for any high school teacher who wants to do something spooky with simple production. It can be like as big or small as you want. A lot of the plays you read, you can do like a lot with, you can do a little with. And also, I think this is really hard to find, it has so many good roles in it. It gives everyone in your drama department a chance to bite something off. It gives everybody around a role or something to really sink their teeth into and to like have a good time on stage. If you're a program that has 30 or 40 people in your program and you want to give everybody an opportunity to really have their moment to shine on the stage, this is something fun. Also, horror theater is so big right now. I think with Grey House, it just like exploded on Broadway and everybody wants to do it. So Scared Silly, one of my favorite recent reads, especially for younger audiences. This is perfect. And if you're a Don Zolitis nerd like me, oh boy, you're going to love this one. But we're going to end with my second favorite play I read in 2023. My first favorite play, you can see I made a video about it on my TikTok. But this play ranked as my second favorite play I read last year. And I love this play more than anything. It is so gosh darn good. It's called The Grown-Ups by Skylar Fox and Simon Henriques. So I'll read you the description, okay? The campers are all finally asleep, and the lake is getting quiet. Have a beer, make a s'more, tell a scary story. Figure out what you're going to have to do in the morning to keep camp fun and safe without letting the kids know about, well, you've seen the news. And I got a push notification, they're getting closer. Following a group of camp counselors trying to mold the leaders of tomorrow when tomorrow is looking bleaker and bleaker, the grown-ups explore the traditions that change us, what it takes for us to change them, and how to change yourself when you're hopelessly, tragically not prepared for any of this. Guys, this play is so good. So it all takes place, I'm shooting off the dome here, but the play all takes place around a campfire. I forget the name of the company, but a theater company in Brooklyn did it during COVID, and they did it in a backyard where like it was around the campfire. The audience was on one side and the show was on the other. It sounds so cool, but it's all about this like camp where all these counselors, like none of the campers have their phones, and all these counselors are like finding out slowly that outside of camp in the real world, there's a lot of bad stuff politically happening. There's almost like a world war, like a new civil war is coming, and it is really, really bad. And they're trying to like figure out how to deal with this while also trying to keep camp fun for these kids. They're trying to like figure out what is the ethical move here. It is so funny. It's one of the best political satires I've ever read. I put it up there with the Thanksgiving play by Larissa Fasthorse. It is so good. It is a blast to read. It is so funny. It is so producible. And I think every theater company, every regional theater company that does a show in the summer should be doing this show, and you should be doing it outside, and you should have a campfire going while you do it. It's the perfect show for your season. Oh my gosh. I love this play so much. The Grown-Ups is awesome. I've read it a bunch of times. I've made so many videos about it. I just love it. Shows you should know. The Grown-Ups, Scared Silly, Isaac's Eye. I'll see you in the next one. Boom.
Theater in a minute.
All right, everybody, it's time for Theater in a Minute, where I explain something from theater past, present, or future as quickly as my brain lets me. Today's topic is very specific, but you'll see why. It's the Brown University playwriting program. So, KJ, let's get to it. Start the clock in 3, 2, 1. Brown University has a renowned history in the field of playwriting, with its program being a significant contributor to the development and nurturing of emerging playwrights. Sarah Ruhl, Paula Vogel, boom, bam, bow. While Brown does not have a specific playwriting program per se, it offers a vibrant and influential theater arts and performance studies, or TAPS, department that has consistently supported and cultivated aspiring playwrights. The university's focus on playwriting and theater arts has evolved over time. Brown's commitment to the interdisciplinary studies and the arts has allowed students interested in playwriting to explore various aspects of theater, including writing, directing, acting, and technical production. The really cool thing about Brown is that they have so many wonderful alumni that have come from things that are not just playwriting. Like a really great example is obviously Paula Vogel, so important over there at Brown. But did you know that before Sarah Ruhl was a playwright, she was a poetry student at Brown, and Paula Vogel was the one that kind of encouraged her to make that switch, that swap. The Brown program has curated and created so many wonderful playwrights, so many cool people here. I'm just going to read you a couple very important people that I think. Jackie Sills Drury, Fairview, of course. Gina, oh my gosh, the woman who wrote Becky Shaw, she was there. Stephen Karam, obviously one of the greatest playwrights. Lynn Nottage, Sarah Ruhl. So many important playwrights. I mean, David Yazbek, like so many people. These are just off the top of my head. But so many people came from Brown because it's such an important program. I wrote a ton of stuff down, but the university's commitment to fostering creativity and artistic expression has made its playwriting program like an integral part of the theater world, of the industry. I mean, those are just the names off the top of my head of people that have made an important place, an important stance in theater history that have gone to Brown. This might have been a weird Theater in a Minute, but the reason why I wanted to talk about it is sometimes when I want to find a new playwright or figure out like who I should be looking at, what players I should be investing in or investigating or exploring when I don't know really who to read or anything. I look at the cool off-Broadway theaters that I love and who have commissions with them. I look at the cool Pulitzer winners or the people who almost got nominated for a Pulitzer that year because those are the people just on the outskirts of making it in. And I look at the big schools. I look at the University of Iowa, their writer's workshop. I look at Brown. I look at Juilliard. I look at those places, and Brown is one of the places I look first. Seriously. The Brown University Playwriting Program is one of the coolest things in the world. Obviously, a dream of mine to go. But I just wanted to take a little bit of time and nerd out about one of the best playwriting programs in the country with probably the craziest list of alumni. I'm forgetting so many people, I'm sure, but one of the craziest lists of alumni I think any playwriting program has. All right, KJ, let's keep going.
You subscribe to Broadway Book Club? Click the link in the show notes to see how you can get your favorite plays straight to your door. Subscribe annually to get new themes each quarter, or choose from our specialty curated collections. What are you waiting for? Head to the show notes for more information on Broadway Book Club.
All right, for this rotating segment, I wanted to do something called Just Chatting, because my name's Justin, and I wanted a rotating segment where I could say stuff that doesn't fit into any of the current known rotating segments that I do. Look, guys, I know this podcast is just me talking, but this rotating segment is also just me talking. And the reason why I wanted to do it this time is this show, we try to do it really evergreen. So we try to record content that isn't like weekly. And we're hoping that in the future, we're able to put out like more like, oh, like here's some news from this week kind of thing when we get to that place in the podcast. But I'm recording this in January. This is coming out in like January, February time. And in the new year, so many shows are opening and closing. So I wanted to go through, on Playbill, they have a like upcoming and announced Broadway shows. I wanted to go through the entire list as fast as I can and give like immediate thoughts. So some of these have already opened. Some of these are opening later on in the year. And we're going to see if I can make some calls on these shows that I'm excited about. So let's see. First up, Days of Wine and Roses. This is already opened. This is a show I've been told by everyone that the Off-Broadway Atlantic Theater Company production is great. It's based on the 1962 movie. Kelly O'Hara, Brian Darcy James. I want to see it literally so bad. Studio 54, Days of Wine and Roses. It's going to be wonderful. I cannot wait. Doubt is getting revived, the JPS John Patrick Shanley play. I'm really excited about this because I love Zoe Kazan. That's really, really fun. I'm very excited. The American Airline Theaters, I feel like it always hits. I love what they're doing. They're opening in February and they're running for a while, so I'm very, very excited about Doubt to come back. One of the musicals I am most excited for over all the musicals this year is The Notebook. And the reason why is because I love Becca Brunstetter. She's an amazing book writer. If you read The Oregon Trail, an amazing play. And that Ingrid Michaelson, who I'm a huge fan of, is writing the music and lyrics. I've heard amazing things. I've heard this is super cool. I had some friends see the premiere at the Chicago Shakespeare Theater, and I just cannot wait. I mean, it's a musical adaptation of the Nicholas Sparks novel. Obviously, if you're a big rom-com fan, this is totally for you. Water for Elephants, a musical that's coming out this year. Very, very cool. Pigpen Theater Company. They have done so much cool stuff, and a lot of it's very much under the radar, so I'm excited that they're doing something as big as this. I'm a huge fan of the Alliance Theater, and it's coming from them. The Alliance Theater is a regional theater down in Atlanta. They're the ones who started The Prom, so they're known for these really cool shows. And also, I'm a big fan of the CW's Flash, and Grant Gustin is in this. I think he's awesome, and I'm very excited. I'm so pumped. Okay. My Son's a Queer, but What Can You Do? This is a one-person play by Rob Madge, and one-person shows have been doing really, really well. The Alex Edelman show that was just on Broadway, Just for Us, that killed. So I'm really excited for this like really cool queer show. It started at Edinburgh Fringe Festival, and it's a solo show like this is always really fun to go and see. So this is very much on my radar. One show I don't know a lot about, The Who's Tommy, is opening in 2024. I don't know this show very well, and I'm kind of surprised. I'm going to say this right now because she's been on the show. I'm currently on FaceTime with Liz while I'm recording this, and she is silently facially commentating on all this. And I said, I don't know the Who's Tommy. And she gave me a very like disgusted face. I don't know this show. And I'm really excited. It's opening at the Nederlander. At the point of me recording, they just put up the marquees and it looks sick. So it's one of those shows I'm very excited to see. The Outsiders, I'm a huge Adam Ratt fan. I'm a huge fan of this book. I cannot wait for this musical and Jamestown Revival. The Outsiders, the musical version based on the S.E. Hinton novel. It's going to be really, really cool. I cannot wait. I've heard wonderful things. Lampar is something I don't know a lot about, but I've heard a ton of stuff on the like theater TikTok side of things on like what this show is, and it seems really, really cool. So that's gonna be fun as well. 2024 is big musicals are coming. 2 other musicals that are opening, I think in March, April-ish time. Suffs and Hell's Kitchen. Suffs seems so cool. It's a musical set about it's about the American suffragist movement. It's by Shania Taub. I'm totally butchering her name, but she did a lot of the musicals for the public theater, the musical adaptations of Shakespeare plays that I love. They are truly amazing. I'm so excited. Then Hell's Kitchen is the Alicia Keys musical that I'm very excited for as well. So like, I think both these shows are going to be killer. They're going to be cool. They're going to be something that you don't see a lot on Broadway. Stuffs is going to be something that's very, very, very fun. And I just cannot wait. Some other shows that are coming. Cabaret is going to be an amazing revival. Cannot wait for that. Eddie Redmayne is like one of my favorites. The Wiz, an amazing revival. I cannot wait for that. I've heard amazing things. Oh my gosh, there's so many shows that are coming out. A couple more I'm going to hit. The Uncle Vanya adaptation by Heidi Schreck. Oh, we got Steve Carell, William Jackson Harper, Allison Pill, so many amazing people. I cannot wait. Mary Jane, I'm a huge Amy Herzog fan and Rachel McAdams fan, so I cannot wait for that show to come back. Mother Play, I mean, Paula Vogel, Jim Parsons, Selena Keenan Bolger, Jessica Lange. Like, what else do you need? That's like the best team. And Tina Landau. Like, that's maybe the best team of 5 people I've ever heard in my entire life. And then the show, and there are so many more in the 2024-2025 season, but the last one I'm going to talk about is the show that honestly I think I'm most excited to see, which is Stereophonic. I have heard so many people losing their minds over this like kind of like Fleetwood Mac inspired show about like, it's like this band and they're in I don't know much about it, but as a theater TikToker, I have seen countless videos of people saying it's the best show they've seen and they cannot wait for it to go to Broadway. So I'm looking at Liz on FaceTime right now, and she is nodding her head yes and screaming silently because we're both very excited for the show. Wait, let me try this. I'm going to see if this works, and if not, I'll cut it. Liz, take yourself off mute and tell me the show you're most excited to see on Broadway 2024.
Up to the mic or like?
Yeah, you're up on the mic.
Okay, this is gonna be a big tell of my character of being a very spooky girl, very musical girl, but I just saw the trailer for the new Lost Boys musical.
Oh, it looks so good.
Patrick Wilson is writing, directing, I don't know what he's doing, but he's some kind of part of it. And if you're a spooky girl, you know Ms. Conjuring. Like, he's a big horror movie person, but also a big theater person, which I love when those two things intersect. So I'm very excited. I love that movie. Like, it's going to be amazing.
Oh, I'm so excited. I cannot wait. Thank you for hopping in, Liz. Yeah, that's the 2024 Broadway preview. Some have already come out. Some will come out for a few months. But I just want to talk about it because there's so many cool new things happening, especially fun fact of the day, Pigpen Theater was one of the first things I talked about on this podcast, and now they're having their Broadway debut. So was it because of me? No, but I will take credit for it. I'm very excited about 2024 Broadway, guys, and let's keep on moving with the episode. Yeah.
Regional Theater Roundup.
All right, it's time for one of my favorite rotating segments that I get to do, Regional Theater Roundup, where I talk about shows happening around the country at regional theaters, maybe near you. Now, sometimes Regional Theater Roundup is more of a breakdown of a regional theater that I love. I've done them on Dabama in Cleveland Heights in Ohio. I've done them on Everyman Theater in Baltimore. But this time we're taking a new approach. If you follow me on TikTok, which you totally should, I do a series called oh my gosh, why am I blanking on the beginning of the series that I do every single week? Here are 3 plays you probably haven't heard of, and if you have, let's be friends. Well, I wanted to talk about 3 shows that are happening around the country in 2024 that are very, very exciting to me. That's the Regional Theater Roundup. That's what I'm doing today, okay? Look, I'm really excited about these shows, and I cannot wait to talk about them. First off, I started my kind of entertainment career or whatever in the Chicago comedy community. So one of my first professional theater companies that I really fell in love with was Steppenwolf. Obviously, so amazing. Tina Landau, Tracy Letts, all those people. They have a show coming up in their season that is so exciting to me. It's called Untitled, and I'm going to read you the description of this show, okay? Here's what we know. Samuel D. Hunter, The Whale, Bright New Boise, is writing. Tony Award winner Joe Mantello, Wicked, Airline Highways, directing. Emmy Award-winning ensemble member and actress Laurie Metcalf, The Connors, Hacks, I Just Saw Her in Grey House, is starring. They want to do a show together at Steppenwolf. Who are we to get in their way? That's like the most baller way to describe a show that is currently in season. Untitled is happening June 13th to July 21st this year, 2024. What? Do you think they're all just on Zoom, the three like most important people in the theater industry right now? Just like, guys, we have this slot coming up. It's happening soon. What are we going to do? I don't know. That's so exciting. I've also never seen a theater do this. Basically, just put their trust in three brilliant theater makers and say, do whatever you want. So that's really, really cool. Steppenwolf, June 13th to July 21st, 2024, Untitled. I am going to do everything I can to be there because I'm very excited. Okay, next up is a musical that is really, really exciting to me. The Alliance Theater down in Atlanta, Georgia, is doing a musical adaptation of The Preacher's Wife, the movie, I think, Denzel Washington, 1996. I could be wrong. But it is written by Titus Burgess. Yes, Titus Burgess from Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Here, I'll read you the description of it, okay? In their fast gentrifying Harlem neighborhood, preacher Henry and his wife Julia struggle to keep their congregation going in the face of development. When all seems lost, Henry asks God to help and receives it in form of an angel. But with this mysterious newcomer really help or make matters worse? Through it all, Julia must find her voice and strength to lead their congregation through the crisis, reminding them that a church is not a building, but the people who inhabit it and the love they share. I'm so excited about this musical. I remember watching this movie as a kid. I was born in 1996. I loved this movie as a kid. Titus Burgess, I think, is one of the funniest people on the planet. I had no idea he was writing stuff. I'm so excited to see what he does. And it's being directed by Michael Arden. Michael Arden, famous for Death West, Spring Awakening, has directed so many wonderful things. I'm very, very excited. I think it's going to be a really, really, really cool project. And also, I have some friends that work down at the Alliance Theater, and they're all really excited about this upcoming show. So, yeah, freaking The Preacher's Wife, a new musical. Also, Alliance Theater is really well known for putting up musicals that go to Broadway. Most recently, The Prom. And actually, I was at the regional premiere of The Prom at the Alliance before it went to Broadway, and it was wonderful. So I'm very excited to see what they do with this. And then finally, this is just, it's more of a PSA. It's also more of a, like, I'm doing this because I messed up, Justin, and I want to keep myself accountable. There's one show I missed on Broadway in 2023 that I regret the most, and that is Fat Ham. I think Fat Ham is one of the best reads ever. James Imes, I'm a huge James Imes nerd. Fat Ham is an amazing adaptation of Hamlet. Follows a young queer black man in the South named Juicy who's at a barbecue with his family, and basically the ghost of his dad who recently passed away comes back to life and says, "Kill your uncle." It's amazing. It's hilarious. There's a infamous scene where Juicy sings karaoke to the song "Creep," and I love it. I love the show so much. The read was amazing. It's one of my favorite plays I've read in the past year. Right. I missed it. I had a couple opportunities. I chose other shows, and I regret that wholeheartedly. But don't worry, because if you are like me, it is being produced a whole heck of a lot this year. Let me read you some of the theaters that are doing it. City Theater in Pittsburgh, all of the month of March. I'm going to be at that show for sure, because I live nearby. Geffen Playhouse in Los Angeles, March 27th to April 28th. Playmakers is running all through Playmakers Repertory Company in Chapel Hill, North Carolina is running all through February. Seattle Rep, April to May. In Seattle, Washington, obviously. Theater Squared in Fayetteville, Arkansas is April 17th to May 2nd, or May 12th. And then Alliance Theater, again, they're doing The Preacher's Wife. They're also doing Fat Ham, April 3rd to May 12th. I might make my way down to Georgia, too, because I love the people down in the Alliance. That is more of a PSA, because I feel like everyone needs to see this show. I love reading Fat Ham, and I know I need to see it. So, yeah, if you're in any of those areas, make sure you're checking out those three shows. Fat Ham, The Preacher's Wife, Untitled, 3 awesome shows that we are getting this year that I cannot wait for. That was my regional theater roundup. I hope you liked the change of formatting, because I for sure did. And that is the episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Justin Borak. Follow me on TikTok and YouTube for more theater content. Thank you to everyone on the scene. We love doing this project. Thank you so much to KJ. I love you, buddy. You are killing it. Thank you to my buddy Zach over at the scene for doing all this work, and thank you to all of you for listening to the show. Make sure you rate, review, and subscribe, and share this with your friends. We love that there are more and more people listening to this show every single week, and we are so excited to be making this short form, quick content for theater lovers and theater nerds like us. And I'm going to end this episode the way I end every episode, by saying the thing we all dread hearing in our first scene study. And scene. See you next week.
The Scene podcast is made possible by our host Justin Borak, our producer and editor KJ Lampar, and our executive producer Zach Dulli.
Don't forget to follow the show wherever you get your podcasts to stay up to date with our latest theater antics. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you again next time.